Are live launches out? Are they not working anymore? Should you be live launching your program? Let's talk about all the things. So, I have grown to love live launches. They have probably been the number one factor that has helped my program be successful. And I'm talking about my teacher program, the Resource Academy. I have had really good success with doing live launches and doing 4-day challenges during those live launches. And back in March, Emily and I, my online business manager, we did a couple episodes all about our live launch strategy and the challenge and how all of that works. So if you're curious about challenges and what specifically we do during live launches, you can go back and listen to those. But I feel like a lot of people aren't going to do those. And there's a few reasons why. Challenges can be a lot of work. Also, depending on your niche, a challenge just might not make sense. For example, if you are helping people with trauma or divorce, or maybe you are teaching people about, helping their child with pandas or autism, then a challenge doesn't really fit the bill, right? A challenge is kind of like a fun and exciting thing where they're learning and they're, working together, and it works great for a lot of niches. It works great for my teacher niche. I've seen it work great for fitness niches and, other kind of, I can't think of another word other than fun, niches that people are excited about. But for other niches, are they going to work? Are challenges going to work? Maybe not. So I wanted to talk about maybe some other things that you could do depending on, the time that you have and the people that you're helping if challenges don't seem right for you. And maybe live launching isn't right for you at all. And maybe you just want to do evergreen. So my first suggestion would be at least test live launching. Especially if your program is new, you're going to have most likely better results with a live launch because everyone is kind of doing this launch together, whether it's a challenge or whether you're doing like a training or whatever it is. Everyone is doing it together. If you're doing a Facebook group, there's a lot of activity and it just has more excitement and hype. Even if your niche isn't exciting or doesn't need to be hyped up, the solution to the problem can be exciting. So for example, if you're helping parents who are learning to co-parent, and they're really struggling with figuring out how to co-parent. This is all brand new. Their kid is struggling and it's hard. It feels really hard to them. But maybe you could do a 30-minute training about kind of your process and your formula for helping parents to co-parent better. And because of that, then they're excited for the possibility and the hope of being able to co-parent peacefully and being able to help their child with this transition. So they can be excited about the solution, even if your niche isn't an exciting niche to talk about. So what I would recommend is to try some type of live launch, whether it's a challenge, whether it's just a training. Maybe you can do like a boot camp style. There's lots of different styles of live launching, and see how it converts. Get to know the people in the live launch, make connections, make relationships, because those first people who join your course, they're going to be the ones you need to take care of the most. And they're going to give you the best testimonials. You're going to get to know them and you're going to ensure that they get the result your program offers. So try a live launch. Also, my recommendation is to do hybrid. So that's what we do in my business. We live launch a few times a year. And then when we're not live launching, we have our program on Evergreen, which means at any time someone can join the course via a pre-recorded training that I've done. And those trainings are doing really well right now. They're still doing well. They're called a webinar or a masterclass. But I am seeing kind of a shift with those. So let's talk about that. So if you plan to do some type of webinar or training or masterclass, the old school way is to have an hour-long training where you're really packing in the information, and when someone leaves there, they just feel like, man, I learned a lot. And then maybe you even do a Q&A after that, so it's even longer than an hour. Those are still working. Those people that do those types of trainings are still doing well, otherwise they wouldn't be doing them anymore. However, I am seeing a shift towards shorter trainings. I'm talking 20, 30 minutes max, where yes, you give information, and yes, they feel like they have gotten something from the training. However, the main thing that you're doing is showing them that there is a solution to their problem, and you have the solution via your framework. So you talk about your framework, and a framework is just the way you help people solve the problem in your niche. And it's kind of proprietary to you. It's what sets you apart from other people in your niche. You talk about that framework and kind of how it works, and you kind of do an overview, but not the step-by-step, not the details, because that's what's going to be inside of your program. I think those types of trainings are working really well for evergreen and even live launching. You can do that type of training for a live launch. You can do a live Zoom. You can do a live webinar via like Webinar Jam or something like that. Or you can do pre-recorded and just send out the video via email, but maybe still have a Facebook group where people can ask questions, collaborate. Maybe you give them some action steps for that launch so that they're working towards something together. And I feel like because people are short on time, these 3 and 4 day challenges, while they still are working, because I'm still doing them, otherwise I wouldn't be still doing them, people just don't have a ton of time anymore, and their attention span is getting shorter and shorter with TikTok and Reels. They want short, bite-sized pieces of information, and to drag out, a training over 3, 4, 5 days, it's getting harder and harder to keep people's attentions. So again, this is something that you could test. You could test a challenge or a video series. You could test a training and see which one performs better. There's not a one size fits all for this. It depends on your niche. It depends on your audience. It depends on you and your personality. Do you want to do, a 3 or 4 or 5 day challenge? Do you want to just do a short, quick video? I like both because I feel like it attracts different types of buyers. I have people that love the challenges and they do them every year and they complete everything. And then I have people that maybe they even sign up for the challenge, they don't complete it, but they will watch this 30-minute training that I have. So it's something that you can definitely test. Now, another thing that we're going to kind of transition to with my business and my brand as a whole is talking more about mini offers. And I actually have an episode coming up in a couple of weeks about, are big courses still selling? And I'm talking about, the courses with multiple modules and, you have like a bigger transformation. Are they still selling? So stay tuned for that episode because we're going to talk more about that. But I will say that I'm seeing mini offers, bite-sized offers selling really well right now compared to bigger courses. And I think that's for a few reasons. I think the economy is preventing people from dishing out a huge amount of money, or even, I say huge, but even, $200, $300. And I also think people just don't have a lot of time. People are just so busy. And I feel like as, time goes on, people are just busier and busier. So having bite-sized offers that solve one problem versus solving this whole array of problems, I'm seeing those are selling really well. So I'm going to talk about that in a couple of weeks. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to talk about what I'm seeing selling, how people are selling it, the different funnels I'm seeing, and do I think you should still be creating a big course or should you go more for those mini offers? So stay tuned for that. But for this episode, should you do a live launch? I think, yes, you should try a live launch. You should at least test it, but you don't necessarily have to do it like I do my live launches. You can do short bite-sized trainings. You can offer multiple times if you're doing a live training. So, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, come to one of these live trainings, or it can be a pre-recorded training that you just send out via email, but still have that open closed cart to make it a live launch. And even still love the pop-up Facebook groups for live launches so that people are communicating and kind of building hype together. So try it out, but also test out a hybrid model as well, where you're doing live launches and then also evergreen in the meantime. All right, I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you next week.